Man United I Serie A star EDERSON. Could this be the missing piece? Picture this. You're sitting in Old Trafford, watching Manchester United struggle to control the midfield once again. The ball keeps getting turned over, chances are few and far between, and you're thinking, when will United finally get a proper midfielder who can run the show? Well, United fans might not have to wait much longer. Fresh reports suggest that the Red Devils have made contact with Atlanta about their Brazilian midfielder EDERSON. But who is this player, and could he be the answer to United's midfield problems? Who is EDERSON and why should United fans care? Let's start with the basics. EDERSON is a 25-year-old Brazilian midfielder who currently plays for Atlanta in Serie A. Now, you might be thinking, isn't EDERSON the name of Manchester City's goalkeeper? Yes, but this is a different player entirely. This EDERSON is all about controlling the middle of the park, not keeping clean sheets. Since joining Atlanta from Salernitana in 2022, EDERSON has become one of the most important players in their squad. He's played 139 matches for the Italian club, which tells you everything about how much they depend on him. When a player racks up that many appearances in just 3 years, you know he's doing something right. But what makes EDERSON special? He's the type of midfielder who can do a bit of everything. He can break up play, distribute the ball, and even chip in with goals when needed. Think of him as a box-to-box midfielder who never stops running and always seems to be in the right place at the right time. What has EDERSON achieved at Atlanta? Here's where things get interesting for United fans. EDERSON hasn't just been making up the numbers at Atlanta. He's been part of some serious success. Remember when Atlanta won the Europa League in the 2023-24 season? EDERSON was right there in the thick of it, helping his team lift European silverware. That's the kind of winning mentality that United desperately need right now. Last season alone, EDERSON started 32 out of 37 Serie A matches. That's not just impressive, it's essential player territory. When you're starting that many games in a competitive league like Serie A, it means your manager trusts you completely. And the results speak for themselves. Atlanta finished third in Serie A last season, securing Champions League qualification. They didn't just scrape into that position either. They earned it through consistent performances throughout the campaign. Why are United interested in EDERSON? Now, let's talk about why United are circling around this particular player. The answer is pretty simple when you look at United's current situation. First, let's address the elephant in the room. United's midfield has been a problem area for quite some time. With Christian Eriksen leaving as a free agent, there's a clear gap that needs filling. Eriksen brought experience and creativity, but he was also getting on in years and couldn't cover the ground like he used to. EDERSON represents something different. At 25, he's entering his prime years as a footballer. He's got the energy to run for 90 minutes, the experience of playing in big matches, and the technical ability to fit into different tactical systems. Under Ruben Amorim's management, United are looking to avoid repeating the disappointment of the 2024-25 campaign. Part of that means getting the right players who can adapt to Amorim's style of play. EDERSON's versatility and work rate make him exactly the type of player who could thrive under the Portuguese manager. What would EDERSON bring to Old Trafford? So, what would United fans actually be getting if EDERSON rocks up at Old Trafford? Let's break it down. First up, you'd be getting a player who knows how to win. That Europa League triumph with Atlanta isn't just a nice addition to his CV. It shows he can perform when the pressure is on. United haven't won a major European trophy in a while, and players with that winning experience are gold dust. EDERSON also brings incredible consistency. Starting 32 league games in a season isn't something that happens by accident. It means he's reliable, fit, and trusted by his coaches. After years of injury problems and inconsistent performances from various United midfielders, that reliability would be massive. Then there's his age. At 25, EDERSON is at that sweet spot where he's experienced enough to handle the pressure of playing for a big club, but young enough to have his best years ahead of him. If United sign him, they're not just getting a player for next season. They're getting someone who could be the backbone of their midfield for years to come. The competition. Who else wants EDERSON? Here's where things get tricky for United. They're not the only big club sniffing around EDERSON. According to the reports, Both Inter Milan and Juventus have also made inquiries about the Brazilian. This creates an interesting situation. Inter Milan can offer Champions League football and the chance to stay in Serie A, where EDERSON has already proven himself. Juventus, despite their recent struggles, remain one of the biggest clubs in world football. So why might EDERSON choose United over these Italian giants? Well, the Premier League remains the most watched and arguably most competitive league in the world. For a player looking to take the next step in his career, United offer the chance to test himself in English football. Plus, let's be honest, United can probably offer better wages than either Italian club. Money isn't everything, but it certainly helps when you're trying to convince a player to move to a new country. The price tag. Is 60 million worth it? Now let's talk money. Atlanta are reportedly asking for 60 million euros, about 51.2 million pounds, for EDERSON. That's serious money for any club, including United. Is it worth it? Well, that depends on how you look at it. In today's transfer market, 50 million pounds doesn't go as far as it used to. You're looking at that kind of money for most established Premier League players, let alone someone who's proven himself in Serie A and European competition. When you consider that EDERSON has 2 years left on his contract, Atlanta are in a strong position to demand top dollar. They don't need to sell, and they know that several big clubs are interested. For United, the question is whether EDERSON represents good value. If he can solve their midfield problems and help them get back into the Champions League, then 50 million might look like a bargain in a year's time. How would EDERSON fit into United's system? Under Ruben Amorim, United are expected to play a more organized, tactical style of football. Amorim is known for his attention to detail and his ability to get players working as a unit. EDERSON's style seems perfect for this approach. He's not a flashy player who tries to do everything himself. Instead, he's someone who makes the simple passes, wins the ball back, and keeps the team ticking over. That's exactly what United need right now. The Brazilian could slot into United's midfield alongside players like Bruno Fernandes, providing the defensive stability that allows the more creative players to focus on attacking. It's a partnership that could work really well. What are the risks? Of course, no transfer is without risk. EDERSON has never played in the Premier League before, and the English top flight is a different beast entirely. Players who dominate in Serie A don't always adapt well to the pace and physicality of English football. There's also the pressure factor. Playing for United brings expectations that don't exist at Atlanta. Every pass is analyzed, every mistake is magnified, and the media attention is intense. Not every player can handle that pressure. Then there's the tactical adjustment. While EDERSON seems like he'd fit well into Amorim's system, you never know for sure until the player is actually on the pitch. Football is full of transfers that looked perfect on paper but didn't work out in practice. The current state of play. So where do things stand right now? According to the reports, United have made contact with Atlanta about EDERSON, but no formal bid has been submitted yet. Both clubs are essentially feeling each other out at this stage. United have also opened talks with EDERSON's representatives, which suggests they're serious about making a move. But so have Inter Milan and Juventus, which means this could turn into a proper transfer battle. The fact that no formal proposals have been made yet isn't necessarily a bad thing. It often takes time for these big transfers to develop, especially when multiple clubs are involved. What this means for United's other targets. United's interest in EDERSON doesn't exist in a vacuum. The club has already spent big on a forward from Wolverhampton and are also chasing Brentford's Brian Bumo. All of this suggests that United are planning a serious overhaul of their squad. The question is whether United can afford to sign all these players. Even for a club of United's size, spending £100 million or more in one transfer window is a significant commitment. It might come down to priorities. Do United need a midfielder more than they need another attacker? Based on their recent performances, you'd probably say yes. What United fans should expect. If you're a United fan reading this, what should you expect over the coming weeks? Well, probably a lot of speculation and rumors as this story develops. Transfer negotiations can drag on for weeks or even months, especially when multiple clubs are involved. Don't expect a quick resolution. What you should watch for is whether United are willing to meet Atlanta's asking price. If they are, and if EDERSON is keen on the move, then this could happen relatively quickly. If not, it might drag on all summer. The bottom line: EDERSON represents exactly the type of signing United need to make right now. He's young, proven, and available for the right price. More importantly, he fills a genuine need in United's squad. Whether United can convince him to choose Old Trafford over staying in Italy remains to be seen. But if they can, EDERSON could be the signing that finally solves their midfield problems. The next few weeks will be crucial. United fans will be watching closely to see if their club can get this deal over the line. After years of disappointing transfers, they deserve a signing that actually improves the team. Conclusion. So there you have it. Everything you need to know about United's interest in EDERSON. He's not the most glamorous name in world football, but he might just be exactly what United need right now. The question is whether United can beat off the competition from Inter Milan and Juventus. With 60 million euros on the table and several big clubs interested, this transfer saga is just getting started. What do you think? Would EDERSON be a good signing for United? Or should they be looking elsewhere for their midfield solution? Either way, this summer transfer window is shaping up to be one of the most important in recent United history. One thing's for sure: if United can pull off this signing, along with their other targets, they might just have the squad to challenge for the top 4 next season. And after the disappointment of recent years, that would be music to every United fan's ears.